All right. Hey, this is Sid Owsley from Determination Determines Destination, the 3Ds to Success, where we share stories of how people use the 3Ds to success, determination determines destination, to overcome obstacles and challenges in their life. And this morning, I have with me Kathy White. Kathy White is a resident of Salt Lake City, Utah. She's a mother of two children who are now adults, one of which was diagnosed with cluster headaches at the age of 13, and the other served in the military by joining the Navy after high school. Kathy is the founder of Waffles LLC, a company specializing in virtual reality team building to bring human connection back to the remote workforce. She's also the founder of Star Changers, a personal development coaching business where the phrase, if you believe enough, you can change your stars. She holds a Bachelor of Science in Accounting from the University of Utah and an Associate of Science in Business from Salt Lake Community College. Welcome, Kathy. How are you this morning?
I am fabulous. Thank you, Sid. Thanks for having me on your show.
It's great. It's great having you on. We've talked a few times, and gone back and forth on some business ideas, and now you're on a whole new venture in life, and it is very exciting. I like what you're doing, and so I want you to tell everyone your story of using what I call the 3Ds to success: determination determines destination, to overcome obstacles and challenges in your life, and how you arrived at this business that you're doing now.
As far as using the 3Ds to come up with my idea for the Waffles platforms, it is. So let me go back a little bit and tell you why I did it. So last year, and what Waffles is, Waffles is a virtual reality team building platform. And last year during COVID, how we all got sent home to work. Well, most of us, 99% of us, all got sent home to work. And at that time, I was leading a team of about 5 or 6 people. And I found that human connection that you have within your team or within your coworkers was all gone. Mm-hmm. And granted, we can have our Zoom our Teams meetings, but it's all 2D, and you lose a part of that interaction and connection. Yep. And when they say that Zoom fatigue is real, it's absolutely 100% real. People are so tired of being on Zoom. They're tired of this flat dimension. They want more reality. Yep. And so what I had done is I saw a need for something different. My initial thought was maybe an app of some sort, a team building app, because my previous company is actually an international company. And so I was trying to think of how all of us could interact together and do some kind of team building exercise of some sort. I didn't know what it was going to look like, but that was where my brain was going. And John Tallarico, who is both of our mentors, referred me to who is now my business partner, a company called Maker Monsters down in Las Vegas. And they helped me vet out the idea of either having an app or going virtual reality. And we went virtual reality because there's so many apps out in the app stores for team building. And virtual reality is actually where a lot of things are going. You can go shopping on virtual reality, and so it's quite an exciting time to be in this space, just to see the development that's coming in the future, and then also the development that is right here, right now, that a lot of us are kind of blind to because they don't realize it's going on. And I know 6 months ago I was in that same place. I didn't understand what virtual reality was. I didn't have a pair of VR goggles. I did not understand any of that. So what I did is we vetted out the whole idea of having a team building platform, team building exercises in virtual reality. And when you start to research both remote working, and then also team building, the numbers are staggering as far as that goes. Most businesses will either have a full remote workforce or they will have a hybrid workforce by the end of this year. And hybrid meaning some of them will go into work and some will stay home. It's like 2 or 3 days in the office, 2 or 3 days at home. It depends on the company. But they still need a way to interact, to have those people together. And especially the people that went full remote, because there is many studies that the people that are working at home feel isolated. And if you feel isolated, you get depressed. And then you don't like your job. And then then eventually you're either going to leave or they're going to ask you to leave. Yeah. So the more that you can become, the more you can feel as part of a team and part of the company, and the better it will be for you and your employer. So does that help? Did that answer your question?
Yeah. You were determined to bring a whole new experience to this remote work thing that we're doing. And, you saw a need in the middle of this pandemic. And so you're determined to determine the destination of how remote work will be going forward. That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just, I had been reading, I was actually assigned a book because I was on the leadership team in my previous job, which you and I had talked when I was actually at my previous job. Yeah. And I was assigned a book called The Future is Faster Than You Think. Ooh. And we as leaders all read that book. And I read that at the same time I'm going through Thinking into Results with John, and I intertwined the two ideas together. Mm-hmm. And if you haven't read that book, it is such a great book called The Future is Faster Than You Think, because things are coming our way that you don't realize, like virtual reality. It's here. People think it's 5-10 years down the road. It's not. It's here. It's here right now. But yeah, so that's one book I would highly, highly recommend for people that are wanting to keep up with the pace of what's going on right now, because it's just going to get more and more rapid.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. Let me put that here on the there we go. Yep, The Future is Faster Than You Think. Cool.
Yeah. So I don't get any profit from referring the book. I wish I did, but it's a great book.
As this VR thing comes together, they may contact you and work out a deal with you.
Right. Right. Exactly.
That is great.
But yeah, and I'm a huge advocate for people that are, so I guess this is more to business owners and managers, is I'm a huge, huge advocate for getting your employees involved and doing fun team building activities. We've all done those. That's my website right there. And if we've been in the workforce at all, we have done team building activities that you're just bored out of your mind. And not many people want to be at something that is boring unless they don't like their job. If they like their job, then they're not going to want to be at some kind of boring but expected team building exercise. So my number one thing that I can tell business owners and managers is, if you're going to do some kind of team building exercise, make it fun. Just because we're adults does not mean we don't like to have fun.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that is my whole platform as far as this virtual reality. And as you can see, the colors are poppy, they're fun, they're vibrant. They kind of almost look like your background, Sid. And I I don't believe just because we're adults that we don't want to have fun. We still do. And one of the other things for this particular platform is I wanted to make sure my 80-year-old dad could be able to use this platform. So when it's up, it's in the beta testing right now. So we're creating the beta right now so people can use it and give feedback and whatnot. And we're also looking for investors so that we can get it to my vision of where I would like it to be. But when I came up with this idea, I want, and it will be, this platform will be usable from anybody from 8 years old to 80 years old. Because a lot of people in the workforce, one, they don't have VR goggles. And two, they don't know how it works. And so we're making it as simple as possible that you don't have to understand how virtual reality, the goggles work and whatnot. Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of putting them on and beaming yourself into the environment. That's all you have to do. You don't have to move. You don't have to create a boundary or anything like that. It's going to be as easy as 1, 2, 3. Just get yourself into the environment. But yeah, so it's going to be for ages 8 to 80. And that was for my dad's benefit.
That's great. Yeah, because a lot of older people, they're not familiar with the technology, afraid of the technology, and having something that is friendly for them is really going to help them to be able to navigate the world that we're in and going into.
Yeah, for sure. And right now we're working on the avatars. And if you go to the website is readyplayer.me, that is the avatars in which we'll be using for Waffles. And it's kind of a fun little website just to look at and just play around with. And you can create your own avatar if you want to. But when we actually get Waffles up and going, we'll have that integrated with that website.
Wow, that's neat. Let me share that to the screen.
You're good.
Oh, that looks cool.
Yeah.
You're on the leading edge of technology, Kathy.
Yeah. That's where I want to be.
Yeah, you're doing it.
So are you.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we may be able to combine the two things we're doing at some point in time. We have to talk about that.
Oh, that'd be really smart. Yeah, we will talk about that.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, so that's Waffles, and I know you're going to ask me because people normally ask me why it's called Waffles, and so I'm.
No.
And the reason being is because I always wanted to name a pet Waffles, and I would never have the opportunity to do that. And so my husband said, well, why don't you just name your business Waffles? I'm like, well, I guess it's kind of my own little pet. So yeah, I can do that. And
yeah, this is your baby.
Yeah, exactly. It's my baby. It's coming to fruition. So it's super fun to see it all come together. Yeah. And so I actually came up with an acronym for Waffles. And it is Work and Fun Foster Leadership, Engagement, and Success.
Oh yeah, I like that. Like that. That's
But yeah.
So yeah, that Waffle thing worked out. I like that. Yeah.
Right? It totally did. Yeah. But yeah, so that's and I can't say enough about Maker Monsters in Las Vegas. They've been such a great partner, and super grateful to John for introducing me.
That's one of the great things about the programs that we have gotten into is the connections that we've made, the people that we've met, and being able to accelerate the things that we've always wanted to do or things that we're thinking about, the Thinking Into Results and Les Brown program and things like that has really helped so many of us out. And I can see, it's really, this is helping you fulfill a dream. You saw opportunity, and bam, you were able to jump on it and make great connections.
Right, right. Absolutely. And I just see virtual reality just increasing in all of our futures. It doesn't matter how old we are. Even, I mean, I know the young kids are gaming right now,
Yeah.
and some of the older adults are as well, but virtual reality is here to stay, and it's going to be part of everybody's office environment, whether
For
it's
sure.
a portion of a day or longer. I don't know how that looks, but it's going to be there.
Yeah, and I like the fact that you've taken it and you're applying it to something other than gaming, and that's where it's really going to come in.
Yeah. Well, and that's one thing is like I said before, I love team building. I don't like boring team building exercises. I love team connection I love human connection, and I love building a team and seeing people develop and using their skills that they don't sometimes know that they have. And I love being able to basically grab those skills out of people and see them blossom into the person that I see them to be.
Okay.
But for whatever reason, they're scared or whatnot. So I have a passion for team building.
Yeah, I can definitely see a lot of companies coming to you and taking part in what you have going because, like you said, people are having, as you call it, the Zoom fatigue. You about zoomed out by now. And,
Yeah. Yep.
yeah, and with the kids, I've heard so many stories about the kids being on Zoom or whatever platforms, and they're not interacting because they're bored. All of them are on. They have their phone down here and they're looking at the screen, and then they poke down. They're not interacting. The teacher doesn't have any control of the class because everybody's at home looking at their phone, and so something like this can really really help kids get back into interacting, online, even though some schools, things are opening up more now. Some kids are going back to school, but I think this virtual schooling thing is going to increase, and this can still be used even in the classroom.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And there's actually been a study, and I forgot the guy's name right at the moment, but the study came back and said with virtual reality versus like Zoom or Teams or whatever you platform you use, they're more engaged, they're more interactive, and they're less distracted. And honestly, you can't be distracted if you've got goggles on your head because you've got to pay attention to what's going on within your environment.
Yeah.
And so 100% what you said, it's absolutely true.
Yeah, just I'm just the things I'm thinking about that this applies to. I mean, just so many things that this will be used for, and I like the fact that you're positioned right now to take advantage of the opportunities that are coming. What type of feedback have you gotten, Kathy? I know you've talked to, when you've talked to, I guess, friends or family, or just the idea and what you're doing. What type of feedback have you gotten?
Of course, it will depend on the type of person and if they're in the work environment or not. If they're not in a corporate environment or some kind of job, then they don't understand the benefit.
Mm-hmm.
But the people that are in work environment, like my old company, which I absolutely love, Ultradent, they all have told me it is such a great idea and concept, and they're like, run with it. And most people, I would say, most people say that it's a great concept, it's needed, go with it. There's been 2 people that said that I'm too early in the market. And I don't necessarily believe that. And so that's why I've kept to the naysayers over here, and I just keep pushing along. But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All it's gonna take is you get that one client, and bam, things you're fine. You know that, these, oh, you're too early in the market, whatever.
So, well, that's what and if you look at what Google and Microsoft and all of those other big companies are doing, they're doing virtual reality right now. They're doing exactly what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, you're positioned perfectly as far as I'm concerned. I'm not an expert, but you saw something and you acted on it, and the success will come. And so, tell us what it took for you to bring this to the point it is now, Kathy. Just when you first had this idea, what did it take for you to bring this business to where it is now?
A lot of conversations with myself, with my husband, with Maker Monsters, seeing if it's actually a viable business or idea or not. We have a Maker Monster and I have a standing meeting every week to go over all of the ideas I have, all the ideas that they have. And we've actually had a standing meeting since probably September, October of last year.
Okay.
And so from that, I mean, can you say it's a lot of time? No, I don't believe it's a lot of time, but it's dedication. Yeah. It's dedication that I know I need to be on a meeting at Wednesdays at 2:00 every week. And so for me, it's my dedication. It's my baby. It's my company. And I want to see it come into fruition.
That's great. Like you said, you're putting in the time and the dedication, to this, to make it happen. And
right.
And it is happening.
It is. It absolutely is. It's coming. So I'm excited.
One thing you said, your prior job, Ultradent, and how they support you, and I know that you were really, really happy about that. About them supporting you in that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's hard to leave a company in which you love working there, and then you love your team, you love the people you work with. Like, you don't find that very often. As somebody loves the place that they work. It's very, very rare, unless you're working for yourself. That's the whole difference is. And when initially I had told my boss, he was not happy that I was actually leaving to pursue this because I was a very good asset to him, as far as, because I'm a hard worker, I'm intelligent, and plus we were really good friends. But him and the CFO and the CEO all said that is an awesome concept and it's needed. And so, and they still have my support, right? At least I still have their support right now. They're going to be some of my beta testers.
Yeah, so, I think that they'll be among your first investors.
So, yeah. I hope so.
Yeah, I think so. I think so that, that's because they, like you said, they know you. They've had a personal relationship with you, a working relationship. And so they know who you are and what your work ethic is. And so, as I said, a lot of times when people go for investors, the investors themselves, they're really investing in the team, the people. They can, people come up with good concepts, but they're really investing in that person or that team of people who are talking about pulling this off. And the people on your old job, they know who you are, they know what you can do. And so I could see them definitely saying, yeah, let's take some of this money we're making here at Ultradent and invest in Kathy.
Well, I hope you're right. So if not, for sure, they're going to be some of my first clients.
Yeah, you're gonna get the money out of them either way.
Oh, but yeah, it's been fun. It's been a fun process over the last 8-9 months, just coming up with the idea and just getting it to where it's at right now. And I just see it going bigger and better.
I definitely see that happening, Kathy. You know, have there been any personal challenges that you could speak to that you've dealt with along the way of this venture, or anything else, that you had to be determined to do that has helped you get to where you're at now in life?
Oh, well, yes, there is. I actually got diagnosed with breast cancer and a jaw tumor within a month of each other.
Wow.
Back in 2014. And so the first, I had woke up, it was April 2014, and I woke up and I had a fat lip, and it was only like half of a fat lip. And I was like, what in the world did I, and at this time I'm single, I'm a single mom. I have a challenging teenage daughter and I forgot what age Lawson was. I think he was like 13-ish, but yeah, 13, 14-ish. And I had a 17-year-old daughter going on 30 who thought she knew everything. So I'm a single mom at this time, and again, I woke up with a fat lip, didn't know what was going on. Ended up going to a doctor. A doctor told me that I had a cold sore. I was like, well, I know it's not a cold sore, because if it's a cold sore, it's the mother of all cold sores.
Yeah.
And then I ended up going to a dermatologist, and they just wanted to inject my lip with Botox so it was all even. I'm like, well, that's not going to help me. And luckily, working at Ultradent, who is a dental manufacturing company, I was talking to one of my coworkers, and he said that it's dental related. And I could not figure out in the life of me why my lip being fat was dental related. Mm-hmm. But I did go to the endodontist, ended up finding a black mass in the side of my jaw, like the size of a golf ball. And it was 3 months of literal hell trying to figure out what was going on, getting the surgery. I looked like a mummy the day I had surgery. And a week later, after I've been recovered, I go to work. I get a phone call from a doctor telling me that I have breast cancer. And I was just like, okay. I'm like, what? Like, I just got over 3 months of hell of trying to figure out what was wrong with my jaw. And then now I just got told I had breast cancer. And then luckily for me, I did not have to do chemo. I did a lumpectomy and then I did radiation, but it was 8 weeks of radiation, and if you haven't had radiation, you don't understand it, because I know I didn't. But basically, radiation burns you from the inside out. And I just remember how hard it was to sleep, because my jaw hurt from all of this pain, because I have neuropathy too. I still have neuropathy. I can't feel right here. And then my right side hurt because I had the lumpectomy and had the radiation. So I was like, I couldn't sleep at all. And that's when I learned how to meditate. And I did a lot of meditation during that. But as far as my personal life, after I went through that 2014 year of hell, I was like, I can do anything in the world. I'm like, I went through this, I can do anything. But yeah, so I was pretty determined that I was going to overcome this. I'm a single mom. I've got to be there for my kids. And on top of that, I'm a caregiver for my dad. And so I'm like, people need me. I can't not be here for the people that need me. So, yeah.
Determination determines destination.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Kathy, as we get ready to close out, let everybody know how they can get in contact with you, your social media, anything else, so that they can get in contact with you. And, maybe there may be someone who sees this and they'll invest in Waffles.
Awesome. So awesome. As far as the website for Waffles, it's vrwaffles.com. My social media it's either Coach Kathy White on Facebook and Instagram, or on LinkedIn, it's Kathy White. Kathy with a K and White spelled just like the color. Oh.
Yeah. And your website, VR Waffles, and the Star Changers website, they're both in the comments. So anybody who wants to look at the websites, check out the comments. And Kathy, it's been great having you on. I love what you're doing. I can't wait for this thing to really pop off.
So thank you, Sid. I'm excited. So, and you've been here every step of the way with me. So it's been fun to have people see it from the concept idea to where it is now.
Yeah, it just the journey that you've taken from 2014 and seeing this website and knowing what you're doing it really does exemplify the 3Ds, and I congratulate you on being so determined in life.
Thank you, Sid. I appreciate that. That's very kind.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Well, this is Sid Owsley from the 3Ds to Success. Determination determines destination. And we've had Kathy White, the founder and CEO of Waffles, LLC, a VR team building business. This is such an awesome business. I love what Kathy is doing. I want everybody to check it out. And please check out my YouTube channel, Sid Owsley, the 3Ds to Success. Please subscribe, like, and share, comment. Check out my website, sidowsley.com, and pick up a free gift on the website. This gift will help you with your goals and how to set goals in a certain way. So if you're interested in accelerating your success, in really bearing down on your goals and getting things done, go to my website, sidowsley.com, and check out that free gift. And you can also check out the podcast episodes of this episode and many others on Spotify and many other podcast directories, Apple and other podcast directories. So be sure to check out the podcast, the YouTube channel, and the website. This is Sid Owsley. Have a great day, and I'm out.
Bye, everyone.